Oh,
What's
look at
going
that.
on?
Yes. That is unbelievable. Did you see that? Was that you, Rudy Grapp? Who
Yeah, that's me. I got my own entry music too. I'm ready for it.
That's what happens when you're walking. See, this is what happens. Everywhere Rudy Grapp goes, he has like a theme song that follows him. He's like Rocky running through the streets all the time. There's
you know, Chris, we've done that intro hundreds of times, and you, my friend, are the first to come in with their own intro music. In like a champ into the ring. So welcome. That was awesome.
I'm going to bring my A game, my energy. You know, I got to bring the entry.
That's right. You got to bring it, because really that's all people are buying is that energy. You can, that's the whole. You got to differentiate yourself, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. First, I want to let everybody. Chris Stone up there is doing this live stream available all over the place. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on all the
we're on Amazon, and our friend Ryan Swanstrom, PhD, from one of the Dakotas. I think it's North Dakota. Says what's up in the chat. So thanks for joining us, Ryan. Buy a Vitamix while you're here, will you?
Yes.
And we appreciate it. So if you're on any of the other tubes, if you're on that Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on the Tube of Eunice, Twitter, all that good stuff, the party is here. And it's at thepitchman.live on Amazon, where we're talking to the co-founder and CEO of Sendoso.
I'm going to have you explain what Sendoso does, but it's very important that we're here on Amazon with these other things, because what you're going to teach people to do is how to differentiate yourself to get in front of your customers and send them things. And I'll wait till my story after, but you're going to give people creative ideas to reach out to people and to have them kind of respect you. And you've done it in a way, a simple way for everybody, even non-creative people can make that thing. So talk to me first of all. Are you a salesman, and did you come up with this idea, or was it foisted upon you?
Yeah, so I'm a salesperson by trade. So about 5 years ago, I started Sendoso, but for about 8 years prior to that, I was in sales roles, closing deals, trying to get in front of prospects. So I started Sendoso out of the need that I saw that I wanted to create this company to fill my problem.
Right. And what was that problem?
Yeah. So, I was creative. I was crafty as a salesperson. I found myself sending a gazillion emails, but I wanted to get more creative. And so I would go and find swag from our swag closet and pack up boxes and send out handwritten notes. Or I'd go on Amazon, find some quirky gift around some prospect mentioned they had a dog or was going on a trip or went to this certain university or sports team. And I'd rebox that and send it out. And so I'd be doing all these different, initiatives, and it worked really well. But I found myself, my manager would be like, "Why are you expense reporting Amazon? What the heck are you doing?" Or, spending hours at night. My wife's like, "When are you coming home for dinner?" I'm like, "I got to pack like 10 more boxes, hon." And so one day I just dreamed up as like, why the heck isn't there a button inside of Salesforce where I can click it and send stuff out? And that was the aha epiphany moment. And then I was like, shit, I got to, can I swear?
No, you're not allowed to.
It's all right. It's live. You just did.
So I said, hey, I got to build this. And so I quit my job as an AE and became a CEO, and the rest is history.
That's it. You just traded off some letters is pretty much what you
exactly.
did. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But so this is really cool what you're doing. And for the people, a lot of people that watch this that are in sales and that are going, and so what types of gifts and did you think of with a personal stuff? And actually what I want is tell me a story where something happened that you clicked and you said, "Oh my gosh, this is the secret sauce." How, like a magic story that happened.
Yeah. So real quick, for those of you who don't know what Sendoso is, so we're a sending platform that makes it easy to send out direct mail, corporate gifts, personalized gifts, handwritten notes, really unlimited options. And part of our special sauce is that we allow you to have all the options of everything you want to send under one platform. We even have a really cool Amazon integration. We also integrate into your tech stack. So you can do this inside of Salesforce, HubSpot, SalesLoft, Outreach, Groove. And there's all the reporting, user management, budgeting, all that. So we basically softwareized and brought everything together with logistics and warehouses that a lot of great salespeople already kind of do on their own. And like myself as a salesperson prior, I was kind of doing some of this stuff myself manually. And so it's not, sending a prospect a gift isn't rocket science per se, but creating a process that you can do time and time again and having it with a click of a button versus, hours of effort is what really drove me to starting Sendoso.
Well, let me ask you a question. Speaking as devil's advocate, because I know I'm going to hear this from people with whom I speak. If when things become too easy like this, won't my customer know that it's so cheesy that all I'm doing is clicking a button and it takes away all the special effort that I'm trying to engender?
Yeah. So my response to that is a couple of things. One is sending gifts costs money. So unless you have a gazillion dollars, there's a limited cost to this. Unlike email, where you can send a gazillion emails for free, if you want to send someone a nice $50, $100 gift, you got to think twice about that because you can't do that 10,000 times a day. So one, there's a cost component that protects this channel from saturation. Two is you got to get creative with it. I don't suggest that if you send everybody the same thing every day, that it's just going to be a golden bullet. You still have to get creative. What's the item going to be? What's the note that's going to accompany that? What's the email or phone call that's going to come before or after it? So this is not some silver bullet that you can just send out a gazillion sends and you're just going to get a million meetings, but it's going to be another tool in your tool belt to help you break into accounts, close deals, build, customers for life.
Yes, and so there's three different levels to this. You could spend a little amount of money on little trinkets, but it's still effective. We're cut from the same cloth. So I used to send these things. This is a little. I used to send my letter, like my sales letter, in this. This is just a money bag. It's like a fake money bag that used to do for a banking bag, and then my sales letter was in it. And all the side here, I used to do stuff like this, message in a bottle.
Yes.
Same things, which is really cool. Remember that? That's really cool. So my message is in a bottle and they love it. But I'll tell you what they love most and it always worked to get a response. You follow up with a phone call after you send a message in a bottle. It's like instant send them through. Exactly. I'll tell you what they liked most about it. Not this, not the letter. The fact that the postage thing said $3.50 on it.
Yeah.
And what happened is I found, and this was a cold reach out to a targeted select few people. What happened is they get a sense of, oh, heck, this kid's, spent $5 at least on this thing. I owe him a phone call. I owe him just to say hello. And so it works really well with that. Do you have products like that that people could send little trinkets type of things or almost like gimmicky things? Or is it just like big time gifts? No,
there's things that are, less than $5-10. There's, we have a marketplace of, 30,000 plus gifting options. We also have a send curation team that will work with you to come and create new custom gift ideas or mailers that, you can think up on your own. So we are really unlimited options. We also have that cool Amazon integration where you go to Amazon, and you someone is a big sports fan for the New York Yankees, let's say, and you want to send them something like a baby onesie because you also know that they're having a kid. And so, crafty, creative, the Sendoso button's overlaid in Amazon. It sends it to our warehouse where we unbox it, put a handwritten note, rebox it, ship it out, all using your account balance that your manager gives you. So you're not putting in your credit card. It's all expense to the company account. And best case scenario there is the recipient receives a very personalized box that looks hand-packed and has a really nice gift with a really nice note in it. And so that's the type of, sends that you can do to build that meaningful relationships where it's human to human selling. It doesn't feel like some company's trying to, sell me something.
Yeah.
So do you do the Amazon integration through a Chrome extension?
Yes,
or
exactly.
Okay. And so like if I'm someone that uses HubSpot, for instance, which I know you're integrated with as well, how does it, I guess in third grader, explaining it to a third grader, how does that work within HubSpot when you're like, okay, I know that I want to get this New York Yankees onesie on Amazon and I'm using HubSpot. How does that work? How do the seams work? Yeah,
so behind the scenes, it will track back to HubSpot. So there's a couple different parts of our integration. One is you can be inside of HubSpot and send pre-created things that you might have some pre-set up things like the message in a bottle send. We might have that in our warehouse so we can send it out quickly. And so you could go into HubSpot, click on a contact, send it, type out the message and click send. And so or you could set up an automation with the marketing automation system where, maybe someone attends a webinar and you want to send something a follow-up, or someone, there's some automated sends you might want to do. So there's a couple different ways that would work. Or you just go to Amazon.com, and instead of checking out with Amazon, you check out with our Sendoso button through the Chrome extension.
Yeah, and now, so this is really, this is the greatest thing ever, by the way. I'm a big fan. I love it.
Smart.
I love the whole concept and idea, and the fact that you've done the work to make all these integrations is killer. By the way, you're integrated only with Salesforce, and how about other, are you in with SalesLoft, VanillaSoft?
Yep. So SalesLoft, Outreach, Groove, HubSpot, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, Eloqua, Marketo. The list goes on.
Okay, and these are all CRMs. It's easy. It's click and point. Now, even with that, what you find is most people won't use it.
I would say we have a lot of usage.
Yes.
I wouldn't say most people won't use it. Most people will use it, but there is a step of effort involved.
Yes.
And also, again, makes this channel more important, because you have to be thoughtful. So, for a salesperson that wants to just close their eyes, spray and pray, you're not going to be able to benefit from this as much, because, that's not going to help you, accomplish anything.
Right. So now you do, imagine, have some super users.
100%. People use this every day.
Right. They use it every day, and they go, now, do you have any stories with, like, what's the largest gift? Because it's not just to get a customer, but it's sometimes after some of these deals are big deals. You can sell $1 million deal or something, and you're going to get a sizable commission. What's the biggest gift or thank you you could send, that you've personally sent, or that you know of that somebody had sent?
We've seen some Oculuses being sent, which is pretty cool. So those are $500. There's been some other more expensive kind of gift cards and options there as well.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not always the value of the gift that really is getting people, but it's the thoughtfulness as well.
Exactly. Now you're able to, but you can, like, if I wanted to send an ice maker to somebody, if I wanted to, so anything that's available on Amazon. Yeah. If someone just bought, if I'm a real estate agent and one of my clients obviously just bought a house, I could send them, they're building a deck or something. I could send them a storage container or something in their backyard to keep the cushions for their patio cushions.
For sure, yeah. And we have a marketplace of other gift options. There's perishables. You can send cupcakes, flowers, cookies. You could send all these different types of custom items. We have warehouses where you can store your own branded swag. So if you have T-shirts, I'm wearing a little Sendoso little jacket here. So all that types of things you can do.
I was looking for one of those in the mail, but it's still early. That's fine. And so do people use this also, I guess, at Christmas gifts?
Yeah, I mean, it's used throughout the whole entire, customer buying journey, whether you're prospecting into accounts, whether you're trying to accelerate deals, whether you're keeping customers happy, even internally. Employee gifts is also a big area of usage for us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the whole thing. It just makes it easy for everyone.
Exactly. Dan, you can send stuff to Chris. So
that's right. I know. Even if you live next door to somebody, it's more special when it comes in the mail.
Of course, who doesn't love it?
Especially when you don't want to see that person show up at your front door.
That's right.
So do you integrate also with like print on demand services as well? Is that?
Yeah, we do some of our print on demand depending on what it is. And in some cases too, we'll pre-print things for customers. So we're really customized in terms of how we work and the different options that we can do with our fulfillment warehouses, our distribution partners, our marketplace.
Well, that's good. And how are you getting the word out?
Yeah, so we've grown substantially. So we've got we're about 500 employees now. So a lot of growth in the last couple of years. We actually yesterday announced our 100 million Series C round. So we've raised about 150 million in funding. So
Kia.
Yeah, so we've got your traditional outbound sales team. We've got about 50 SDRs that are outbounding. We've got AEs, CSMs. We've got our inbound marketing team, channel partner team. So the whole works.
Yeah, it's a real full-on company that you got started here, Chris Rudiger. And now, how does a guy named Chris Rudiger? Where are you from? The name, obviously, it sounds very Italian.
Yeah, so it's actually Dutch.
I'm just kidding. Nobody gets my dry humor anymore. What's going on, Chris Stone?
Well, because it's not good humor.
Oh, that's right. You want everything. Remember the Good Humor Man? Did you ever have a Good Humor Man come by your house?
The ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream man. Did you have one, Chris Rudegrap?
Not that I can remember.
No?
Not with as good as humor as yours.
Well, Chris Stone, what was your favorite ice cream? And then we're going to go back to Chris Rudegrap.
Oh, geez. It was that strawberry thing that was covered in the crumbles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that was so awesome.
They used to have toasted almond. There was something called toasted almond.
Yeah.
Hey, remember toasted almond? You can't find it anymore.
I remember like the Ninja Turtle ice creams that were like.
That's right. Yeah, those
Did you like
good.
Michelangelo? Was he your favorite, or was it who's your favorite teenager?
Maybe Donatello or something.
Yeah, Donatello. Yeah, Vermicelli. I think. All right. Jerry Lopez is always causing problems. Okay, well, this is excellent. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you rudely. So you told us how you got into this. So where are you from? You're from here, but you're Dutch?
Yeah, a Dutch background, but I'm born and raised in the Bay Area.
Yeah. So does everybody, ruin your last name, or was it just me?
You botched it pretty bad, but
yeah.
I'll give you credit. You did okay.
Well, I knew somebody else named Lee Rudisell, and so I just knew it was that many syllables, so I just used it there. But the Chris, that's a tough one. Excellent. So this company started 5 years ago. When you started it, did you just go right after funding on the front end because the idea was so good, or did you? How did you get it going?
Yeah, so 5 years ago, I had the idea. Took about 6 months of kind of nights and weekends, getting kind of the MVP going. Ended up quitting my job and launching it in 2017, and then really seeing traction and launching it for real in 2018. So about 3.5 years of business. Initially, kind of used some bootstrap money for the first 6-9 months. And then raised $350,000 seed, then $2 million full seed round. A year later, $14 million. A year later, $40 million B, and a year and a half later, $100 million C.
Gosh. So how does who's your target market now? Is it? Well, I know you have SDRs, and who are they mainly going after?
So our customers are typically sales development teams, marketing teams, account management, AE teams, customer success teams, even HR teams. And our buyer is typically the leader of one of those teams. But the nice thing about our platform is it can be used almost by any person at any company. There's some way that you'd want to use this, whether it's with prospects, customers, partners, employees. It's a really open platform that a lot of different use cases emerge from it.
So I'm sorry. When you go to the site, it has that dreaded call for pricing thing, right? And so obviously you guys are going for larger companies, right? You want to go to these teams because it's a great idea and it obviously works for them, but you've got a number of people, and Dan always talks about the sales army of one. Even if you are affiliated with a company, you almost have to be your own solopreneur, right? And it's like, well, if my company's not going to do this, and I think it is a good idea for me, or maybe I am a solopreneur and I'd like to be able to do this. Is it structured in such a way that it becomes an affordable use case for someone that wants to do either of those?
Yeah, so like you said, we've been built more for larger teams as we've seen that there's just a huge opportunity there. We're rolling out some new offerings for more of the solo person or kind of starter plan, so to speak, where people can get in at a kind of the bottom and just kind of test it and run with it. So definitely kind of a solution to fit all the different needs.
Well, what is it? How is it? Is it a subscription model plus?
Yep, exactly. Subscription model, and then you just pay for the gift and the shipping, etc.
Well, that seems reasonable. I mean, you could even do associations with this thing. It seems.
Oh yeah, there's we've had amazing growth, and there's a lot of different use cases and different ways that people want to buy it.
Well, that's exciting how this is. So they give you a listen. You simply send the promo.
So I guess Jerry is super simplifying your mission statement here. But I think, Jerry, I think there's a little bit, Chris, if you can go into it, like if people look at this on the outside and they just think, oh, you're just taking my contacts and, doing this for us. You know,
Yeah,
what's,
I mean,
what goes into all of this? Yeah.
So Jerry is not wrong. You can upload a list and we can send stuff to that list. One of the big benefits, though, that we've done is we've taken it and decentralized it so you can do one-to-one send at scale. And I think historically, you might have a marketing team that says, hey, salespeople, give us your leads and we'll send them everything once for, this campaign. And while that's effective, sales is real time and sales is personal. And you want to send something today. You don't want to wait a month till marketing to do it for you. And so that's one of the things where, marketing can help set up the program, sales leaders can set up the program, and then individual salespeople can have their own budgets, go in and click send, and then we'll send it that day for you. And so that's one of the benefits of our platform is you can have lots of different people at your company click and send different things at different times and really be a personal real-time buying experience.
And Jerry wants to know if you're hiring.
Shoot me a note, Jerry, and we'd love to chat.
Yeah,
we're definitely hiring.
What's the story with the cuckoo clock?
Yeah, it's a cuckoo clock that my grandparents gave me. It's probably 80 years old. I bought in Germany, and just a cool little backdrop for my Zoom meeting.
Yeah, well, I knew there was a story behind it because nobody has a cuckoo clock. Does it work still? It
it works perfectly.
Yeah?
I turn it off, otherwise it would drive me nuts cuckooing all day on meetings, but it works like a charm.
Oh, I think it's great. I think it would see that's, by the way, that's the type of thing when you're on a sales call with someone, you find out he has an 80-year-old cuckoo clock.
Exactly.
The gift that I'm sending you is gonna relate to that somehow. And in sales, that's what you're always looking for, some sort of commonality, something. Just the thought of that puts you on a different level. And I think you're, just on a fundamental level, what your company does is probably the most beneficial thing that I've seen in the sales world. In the past 5 years, it really is.
That. And our goal is just to make the hard part, which is the packing the boxes, the ordering, the tracking through CRMs and the budgeting, all that simple with a few clicks. So salespeople can spend the time. What is that creative gift? What is that message? What is the before and after? And so they're not having to go pack boxes like myself or feel like, hey, I can't do this because it's too much effort to go find. And so that's really where we come in and simplify some of the operational components.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it helps you because I live by the philosophy of do it now.
Yes,
when you do it now, you save at least 3 times the time of doing it, because A, you don't have to think about it anymore. B, you don't have to set up a schedule for it to do it, and C, you don't have to feel guilty for not doing it now. And so all these things are going. You just save so much by doing it now. And how many times do you get off the phone with somebody and you had a good conversation, or you met somebody and you had a good conversation and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm working at a place right now and there's little coffee rings all over the place. They need coasters. I mean, they just need coasters. And I'm thinking I should just get them coasters.
Exactly.
If I had this product, I could just click, send them some coasters, and I look like a rock star.
Exactly. And then it's memorable. You just became a fanboy for life for that person.
So tell me a story. I like stories.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of stories. BFOS. Big fan of stories. Stay with me. They're coming fast. All right. So you said you have some super users.
Yeah.
You must have some like incredible testimonials or something that they said, oh my gosh, I landed this great account specifically because of this box of croutons that I sent to somebody in some non-bread riddled area.
Yeah, I can think of 3 off the top of my head. One is this is actually an internal story where we met someone at a conference that was on crutches and they had recently broken their ribs in a ski accident, and they're a large enterprise target account. We ended up sending them some barbecue Kansas City ribs in the mail thereafter. And so when they got home, they got this awesome, like, nice pack of ribs to barbecue. But it was a funny play on words of like, hey, we know you broke the rib. Here's some more. Also enjoy this with your family kind of thing. So that was a really fun send. There was another one that some customer knew. They heard a little pug barking in the background and they had a little pug. So they sent Pugopoly, which is like a monopoly, but it's all for pugs.
Oh, okay.
And so that one sent. And then another one that I like, we have these like wine locks that you put over a wine or a bottle and has a little combo code. And so you can send someone a nice, $50, $80 bottle of wine, but you can't open it without the combo code lock. And so it's one of those 1-2 punches where you send them that, and it, some play on words around, unlocking the value XYZ. Hey, jump on a call, I'll give you the combo code. And so you're just figuring out this wine, and then you're like, hey, I got to jump on, I got to reply to this person because I want to get into this wine. And then, you get the 1, 2, 3 combo code, and then boom, you're into the wine. So
yeah, no, that's great. Now, do you notice that I have my own opinions about this, but I want to hear it from you. Does the cheesy stuff work as well, or?
It's all, I think you got to play your audience. I think, there's different personas that you're selling into, certain people that are more playful and fun and quirky. There's also certain brands that come across more fun and quirky. So I would say this is not like a one size fits all. And I have a golden gun, and I'm going to tell you that this is, you can do just that. But I can say in general, humans are humans, and you want to talk to somebody that it has some funniness to it and break up your monotonous day. And so if you can have something with a pun involved, it's gonna, computers aren't writing puns for you. Humans are thinking about these things. And so it breaks up hey, another human sent me this thing and it's kind of cheesy, but I read it and I kind of laughed, so.
That's right. Yeah, I'm a fan of that too. You laugh at me or laugh with me. It's the same thing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yes, I saw that. I think on your website, there was a testimony of somebody who was a pun with wine. I forget the exact thing. And so I'm going to spoil it. So this would be example of a terrible story when you say that I forgot it right in the middle of the story, which is great. So let me ask you this. Did you you've gotten some big clients on board, big partners on board. Salesforce is huge. People don't realize how big Salesforce is. Yeah. Salesforce is monstrous. And you got into that. Did you use your methods to get into any kind of really larger accounts?
100%.
And how did that work?
Yeah, I mean, we eat our own dog food, or I like to call it, we drink our own champagne. So we're using Sendoso more than anyone. And we publish how Sendoso uses Sendoso on our blog and our resources section. We're constantly doing webinars and thought leadership on the best ways to use Sendoso. And we're kind of the best guinea pig for that. So.
So do you have any examples of any companies that you went after and where you couldn't get a hold of them? And then let me ask you this then. Do you find that it works in campaigns? Is it 1, 2, 3 things that you send before you get responses, or what's the general process?
Yeah. So again, I think there's ways where like marketing demand gen teams are using it to kind of high level air cover to kind of drive interest and drive people into the funnel. So you can send things out that are maybe more one-to-many. SDRs are setting a mix of things, trying to set meetings that could be more one-to-one. AEs are using it to build rapport during that sales process, maybe as a thank you gift for coming on a demo, or something more personal to get them through the sales cycle. And then there's other field events, especially last year with people couldn't go in person, but you could still send people driving excitement around a digital event, or getting people's attention. And so
that's excellent.
You basically just have another tool in your tool belt to engage with a prospect or a customer or a partner, and something that most salespeople by nature know what gifting and want to do more of it, but the do it now mentality is kind of lost based on the effort involved, and so we push that do it now to the top of the list because it's as easy as clicking buttons. So
it's as easy as giving your wife your credit card and saying, I want that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about is there a possibility, and this is, this has got my brain just swirling because I think it's such a fantastic idea. Is there a way to sort of integrate the best of both worlds? Meaning you have something that maybe is in the Sendoso warehouse, swag, personalized type of things, cards, whatever you got, that you guys are warehousing. And you want to order something very specific on Amazon, so that arrives in one package. Is that
for sure?
Is that on down the road, or that exists?
No, we can do that now. You can combine something that's in the warehouse with something that's through Amazon, so you can have a one sheeter, some swag, and combine the two. So that's definitely doable. We also kit things together from multiple vendors. So maybe you want to create a little kit, whether it's a new customer welcome kit, a new employee kit. or other ways that you want to, kit things together from different vendors. And so that's the benefit of us owning global warehouses, is we have the space to do that.
That's killer.
That's really
I
huge.
would imagine in order to do that's a different price tier than just your
It is a
basic.
bit more customized too, exactly, because there's we're doing more for you. But again, It beats a company trying to do it themselves, or the worst case is a company feels like it's too hard, so they don't want to do it themselves at all, and then they just lose the whole opportunity.
I think that's what most people are doing, right? Is like you're thinking about it, but because there's 14 steps, you're like, and you still want to do it, you just never get to it because there's those 14 steps, and it's like, well, why not just pay these guys? And then thought done, boom, it's money well spent.
Exactly.
Or you buy 300 cheesecakes, and then everybody gets a cheesecake. In this case, you were able to do, we used to do that, at the end of the year. I remember I had, or everybody wants, or a bottle of wine, or whatever bottle of wine. Everybody gets the same bottle of wine. You buy a few cases for all these things. But here you can be totally individualized to everybody. Instead of just telling all your clients that, we treat everybody as an individual, not as a group, you could actually prove it by sending something of value that relates to them directly.
Yep. And even the, sending all your customers a nice bottle of wine, that still goes very well, and with a nice note for Christmas. And we make that easy too, where you can just say, hey, this upload this list or pull this data report from Salesforce or HubSpot or whatever, and you can send out 500 bottles of wine, and you still accomplish that holiday gift, but you spend way less time on it. So
yes. And I don't imagine it will be that much more anyway. When you take into consideration all the other things that you do, all the time spent to doing that, you really are saving money, loads
100%.
of money.
So and we're also, kind of think about us like the Costco model. We have buying power now with all these vendors. So if you go to buy, wine or cheesecake or something, you might pay more than we would pay because we're doing this on a, millions and millions of dollars in scale now.
So when does it make sense? I'm thinking for, there's all these individual consultants and people, tax accountants who may have, 100 or so accounts and things like that they want to send on a regular basis or do some marketing. When does it make sense? How many mailings need to go out for this to make sense for someone to use?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, if you're landing a couple customers from it, it makes sense. So it's not really like the quantity, it's more of the quality. And so if you're able to, close more deals or thank more customers and keep them longer, what's the price to that? It's, it's worth its weight in gold. So it's not necessarily, while more quantity makes it easier to, say, hey, we need this sooner than later. I would argue that every person out there should be doing this in some fashion and some form or another.
Oh, so it's the life cycle of the customer. So you're looking at the lifetime value of a client, and if the lifetime value of a client is $100,000 or $10,000, and then you figure out how many clients you need to make this thing more than pay for itself a billion times.
We've got a couple of questions from Tommy in Kalamazoo, who's on Amazon.
There's no way Tommy is literally from Kalamazoo.
That's right, home of Derek Jeter.
Of who?
Derek Jeter, the New York Yankee. He's from
who?
He's from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Is he really?
Yeah, and he's a University of Michigan fan. Go Blue.
I thought Kalamazoo was kind of a made-up name, like McGillicuddy.
No. God. Anyway, he wants to know, how does Sendoso efficiently incentivize leads, and also what's the most effective personalized gifts, branded swag or e-gifts?
Yeah, so I'll start with, in terms of incentivizing leads, wondering if that's more like how we incentivize leads, I guess. So to answer that question, I think, there's certain things that we're incentivizing in terms of like engaging with content. Like if you download a case study, maybe there's you get a $10 Starbucks gift card, or if you attend a webinar, you get a cupcake. So there's different ways that, we can drive incentives for taking action or joining something. So I'd say we do some of that ourselves at our company. We see our customers do that. Take a demo and you get this, Yeti mug. And so there's definitely a lot of that going on. In terms of the second part of the question, most effective, I'd say, again, it's not a silver bullet where everything's effective, but I would say some things that stand out Branded socks. People love socks. It's one of the
yeah.
popular items for
People love
e-gifts.
socks.
People love getting socks.
Do people ask Tommy if people from Kalamazoo like socks?
You can get cold in the winter. E-gift wise, I would say, DoorDash, Uber Eats, some of those gift cards over the last
that's
year.
right. Food.
Crushing it because everyone's, stuck at home and getting food delivery. So that's been huge. And then I think on the personalized gifts, the personalized piece of it is actually what you need to do. And so I can't tell you what's personal to that person. I don't know who you're targeting. So I'd say, like you said, Dan, figure out this person you're talking to. Where do they live? What university do they go to? What are their hobbies? What's behind their screen? And get personal there with them.
Yeah. So what I would say, Tommy, just thinking about this right off the bat, the way to get leads is to offer something of value first. So you don't want to just give leads to anybody. So they got to do something. They got to want to come to your seminar, your webinar, or download whatever you do. But here's what you do. If they download whatever you're sending out, like for instance, I have the Superhuman Salesperson Handbook, which is unbelievable. I can't believe Chris Ruda Grapp doesn't have it yet. But once they download it, as a surprise, send them a cupcake.
Yes.
It'll freak them out. And then pick up the phone and call them. And then it's like it turns a name to a lead, and a lead to a want to do business with you.
1,000%. I love the surprise and delight, the give before you ask mentality. And it really creates that better relationship where you don't feel like you're getting sold into, but now you're kind of in a pay it forward prospect. And now they're like, oh, wow, this person's going out of their way. And now, boom, I'm going to reciprocate. Yeah.
And it literally could be anything, but just as a general rule, people eat food. Yes. And people like foods, popcorn, cookies, cupcakes, something that puts it. This is what's going to happen. They get it in the mail. What is this thing? And they're going to do this. Oh my God, somebody sent me a cookie. Yeah. And they're going to smile, and then they're going to find out who sent it, and they're going to associate that good feeling with whoever sent it. So it's an easy win right off the bat. But it's a pain in the rear end to send a cupcake unless you use what?
Sendoso.
In your face. I mean, I'm telling you, I cannot believe you. How did we meet, by the way?
I outreached.
Did you stalk me, or did I stalk you?
Yeah, I was looking at sales podcasts, and you came up as the top one of the top, and so I said, "Hey, I got to be on the show," and loved your energy.
Yeah, you got to call these. Well, listen, we're usually not this energetic, and I'm not this excited. Sometimes I have to fake it because I'm putting on, but this particular product can change people's sales life. I tell everybody, he talked about the sales army of one. I believe every salesperson, from an SDR to VP of sales or whatever they're doing in their life, or even an individual, just with their own practice, a salesperson is in business for themselves. It's a business of sales. And so you don't got to think of yourself about getting a job. You want to think about yourself of how to get a customer, and these customers are yours. And the biggest customer that anyone ever gets is their spouse. How'd you meet your wife, by the way?
I met my wife at a party. She was actually my roommate's girlfriend's friend. So,
yeah. Okay. Good. And now when you meet somebody like that you're thinking about, hey man, there might be a future. You don't even think about it, but you just give them the gifts. I mean, that's what you do. And it's even the gift of time, the gift of thought, actual physical things. And this is how human beings show that we want something.
Yeah.
And psychologically, it's very flattering for the person that receives anything.
100%.
And so you're just making it easier. So I think that every salesperson who considers themselves in their own business needs to consider doing something like this because it makes them better, and it makes their career better, and it makes your life better, and makes you a better person. Listen, Chris Stone knows my thing. You want to be a better salesperson? First, be a better person. Better people give thoughtful gifts, and you're making it easy. So I think you're doing God's work over there, Sendesco.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sendoso, I'm going to change your name. Sendoso, Sengesco. This is Chris
So what
Rudisill
did
from
you call it? Yeah, you call him Rudisill, and he's
Yeah.
selling. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's
it's
right.
not that bad. I mean,
That's
now
right.
that you think about
It's my
it.
new nickname, maybe. I got
Totally.
It's
Now you're
Rudisill.
gonna put shirts in the warehouse that you can sell. Rudisill shirts.
Actually, it's Ruda Sendoso.
Yeah,
You
there we
just
go.
got one long name, Chris Ruda
syllables.
Sendoso. In your face. That's how we work it here. So tell me quickly to get personal with you. So you have a wife, any children?
No kids yet, but I got a dog. So
You got what's the dog's name?
Stella. She's a little miniature golden doodle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're a golden doodle. Does she sleep in the bed or on the floor?
Yeah, she sleeps in the bed and would come to me in the office every day. It's kind of a little best buddy of mine.
Hypoallergenic dog. Hypoallergenic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chad. Yeah.
Don't shed it all?
No.
So you don't need any kind of. So we got a kitten now. We got a new.
Yeah.
Actually, from my daughter, we got 2 cats, but they're both my daughters. Eventually she's going to move out. But we got these 2. But I don't want her to take this kitten. It's the cutest little thing, except it vomits and does all the stuff that kittens do. And so we had to get a portable upholstery cleaner. So you don't have to get a portable.
I don't have to worry about that at all. No.
So here's the thing. But I bet you if I knew that somebody got a shedding dog, I could send them one of those things from you.
100%.
I mean, just think everything. It's like Christmas starts at Sendoso.
That should be our new tagline.
I was gonna say, print the T-shirt. Let's go.
I mean, you don't even have to think about it, because guys traditionally, or maybe I'll just talk about myself, wait till the last minute for gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do too? Okay, yeah. Wait, and so, I kind of like it though, because it's you kind of like the stress or whatever. But my gosh, this just takes all the stress away.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think knowing you has added 3.5 years to my life.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. So tell somebody who's just getting started with your program, because I can see myself with my clients and the people that I meet, as a sales strategist, directing many people your way of what they need. So how does somebody get started first, do you think is the most effective way to utilize your product?
Yeah, so I think it's all about coming up with a little bit of a strategy first. You're thinking about you're thinking about your sequences. You're thinking about when you want to reach out to people, and when are those steps that you want to put in Sendoso and like the offline or the gift component to that. So I think it's a little bit of planning. I think there's also a need to think about how do you get a little bit more creative. It's something that you might want to spend a little bit more of your time on, and so block a little bit of your time calendar for creativity, which might be a bit of a surprise because salespeople are like, this is my prospecting time. This is my, demo time, but
this is mine. This is mine right here.
Yeah.
So right here.
Block a little time for creativity, coming up with gift ideas and, being personal.
A little time for creativity. Now, do you have people within the company that can help?
Yes.
With
so we
that?
do as well. We have send curators, which will brainstorm.
What do you call them?
Send curators.
Send curators. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, very fancy.
So they're a fancy name for that, but yeah. So this is basically.
I would call them like little Sendosovites. Everybody. I'm a Sendosovite.
Yeah.
Everybody needs their little country. This is awesome. So, how do people get a hold of you? How do people just reach out, even if they want to work for you? If they want a job, because this is a real sellable product.
Yeah, go to sendoso.com if you want to read more. You can email me directly. It's Chris, Kris, @sendoso.com. So find me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect. We've got a ton of job openings, like 50 or 100 job openings across all different departments. So, fresh off the 100 million in funding, we're doing a ton of hiring.
A ton of spending. Now, I want if anybody wants a real decent job with them, if it wants to move up the ladder and show yourself off, send the boy a gift.
Yeah.
All right. Just don't be a putz. Send him a gift, and then you'll stand out right away. And I bet you'll even get a call back.
We just hired a salesperson last week who listened to my podcast, found out what my favorite tequila was, sent it to me with a note, and bing, bing, boom.
Yeah. Bing, bing, boom, or bing, bang, boom. You Dutch people, you screw up the bangs all the time. That was awesome. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm going to save this one and play it regularly, because here's the issue with this type of thing. Everybody gets a bunch of great ideas and you write them down. This is so terrific. It'll work so perfect. And you'll do it for a little while and then you'll just kind of stop. Not for anything bad happening. You just kind of stop. So it's important to keep good ideas like this fresh.
Yep.
And you just took an excellent idea of the past, traditional guerrilla marketing tactics. Well, so this also, so you've brought it into modern times and made it easy to click. And so all you salespeople need to do is go out and click. So thank you for coming, Chris Stone, once again. By the way, Chris Ruta Sendoso, is this not the best production ever of a podcast?
I love it. I love the energy. I love the little things that keep popping up with more info.
Yeah, he's doing it live all over the place. And he's a monster there. So thank you again, Chris Stone. Chris, thank you for coming, and all you for watching. Remember, listen, life is nothing but a big sale. And the first sale is to sell to yourself that you're worth it, that you're good enough, and that you have the ability to make it big in this marketplace. This guy, Chris, started 5 years ago and just got $100 million in funding. I think he did it the right way by giving value first, and then just being able to receive when it comes his way and live that way. And you all can do it too. I think you're an inspiration to us all. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you watching. Eat well, live long, and prosper, and send some gifts today. Go get them.